welcome back. This is me, your biology tutor, Alka Rajimon from GoSco. I hope I'm audible. Are we clear to go? No? Okay. Hello. Excuse me for a while. I think we are again having some technical issues. Am I audible? If I'm audible, can I get a thumbs up? Yeah, I guess we are fine. We are fine, right, ma'am? Yes. Okay. Okay. So thank you so much. Yes. Okay, so this is me. I'm back again. We are from GoSco, the fastest growing edtech in GCC, and our aim is to provide quality education for all. Welcome back to yet another session of biology. Here we are with another sample question paper from 2023. Yes, I hope you all remember the last session where we have discussed about the 2025, the recent SQP. And today here I am with the 2023 SQP. So you will be wondering, where did 2024 SQP went? It didn't go anywhere. Your Pulsar will be coming with 2024 sample question paper discussion in the same week. So please stay tuned for that. So today we'll begin the session without much introduction. I guess we all are familiar with each other, and I'm good to go. Yeah. Okay, so if there is any issue, please show me it in the comments. I will be checking the comments. If you have any queries in the entire session, just let us know. Okay, so let's move on. As you already know, SQP is just like your previous year question paper. This is a sample question paper which is provided by the CBSE academics, and it will be in the same routine, in the same pattern and framework of exactly how your board exams would be arranged. And practicing it will definitely help you to manage your timing, to get to know how to do your real exam. So just take it as a sample. And today I would like to start the session from the last section, which is section E. So as you know, section A is comprised of all the MCQs, the multiple choice question. So I would like to begin the session from the last section, which is section E. Then we'll jump to section A, since this is one of the high weightage questions, right? In the section E and section D, you will get 5 and 4 marks. So let's begin from there. So let me begin the session. This is your section E, and here we'll be discussing a question directly from your chapter Heredity. As you can see, this question is carrying a mark of 4. So 4 marks from a single question. That's how important the question is. Let's solve the question. Pooja has green eyes while her parents and brother have black eyes. Pooja's husband Ravi has black eyes while his mother has green eyes and father has black eyes. On the basis of the above given information, is the green eye color a dominant or a recessive trait? That's a simple and direct question from that paragraph itself. We just have to find whether the trait green eye color is dominant trait or recessive trait. I think it's quite clear. Pooja has green eyes while almost everyone else other than mother of Ravi is having black eyes. So black is the dominant trait here because it is showing high frequency in the generation, you can say. So we can easily say the dominant trait here is definitely black, and the recessive trait here is definitely green eye. So the green eye color mentioned in the question, it's definitely a recessive trait. You can easily mention it with small g, and the black eye can be okay, let's use B. Since black is the dominant trait, we'll go with capital B, and for the green we can use small b, since it is a recessive trait. And how do you find it as a recessive trait? Just by looking into the problem and realizing that majority of the people are having the trait black, so it should be the dominant trait. And yeah, that's the justification of that answer. What is the possible genetic makeup of Pooja's brother's eye color? Okay, so we have to find Pooja's brother's eye color. All we know is Pooja has green eyes, her parents and brother have black eyes. And we have to find what is Pooja's brother's eye color and what is the possible genetic makeup. We know it is black. We need to find the genetic makeup. So I think it's again, if you know the basics in genetics, we can easily solve this question, right? So let's see, let's take it like this. Let this be Pooja's father. Let this be Pooja's mother. That's the paternal makeup, right? So the paternal and the maternal makeup will find it first. And since Pooja already has small b, that is a recessive gene in her body, we can definitely be assured that father with black eyes, so father has black eyes and mother has black eyes and mother has black eyes. Since there is a child Pooja who is having recessive trait, so both the parents should be heterozygous, right? So the parents are going to be capital B small b black eyes, capital B small b black eyes. So that there is a possibility of having small b offspring. So their gamete would be like this: capital B, small b, when crossed with capital B, small b, the offspring. The offspring can be of which all types? I think it's evident here, right? The offsprings can be capital B, capital B, capital B, small b, capital B, small b, small b, small b. So this would be black-eyed baby, this would be black-eyed baby, this would be black-eyed baby, and this would be a green-eyed baby, which is Pooja. So Pooja got this green eye color by this small b combination. Now our question is, what is the possible genetic makeup of Pooja's brother's eye color? So Pooja's brother is having black eyes, which is given in the question, right? It's already given. Her parents and brother have black eyes. So definitely her brother can be capital B, capital B, capital B, small b. It can be either. We cannot assure it from that particular part of the question. So we can simply put it like that. Her brother's genetic makeup can be capital B, small b, or capital B, capital B. It depends. We don't know which the offspring is. So that's it. Now the next question, what is the probability that the offspring of Pooja and Ravi will have green eyes? So Pooja's, we know it is small b, small b. Since she is having this green recessive eye color, we can easily say she is having small b genetic makeup. Now what about Ravi? See, her husband Ravi has black eyes while his mother has green eyes. So mother is having green eyes, which means mother definitely have small b, and father has black eyes. So Ravi's mother have green eyes and father has black eyes. Let it be capital B small b or capital B capital B. Anyways, we can assure that since one parent is homozygous recessive, the child the child has to be, the one with the black eyes has to be capital B small b. Okay, so Ravi has black eyes, which is capital B small b. That's what we can conclude from that. Okay, so now we know the genetic makeup of Ravi as well as Pooja. Pooja is homozygous recessive and Ravi is heterozygous here. So we need to find what is the probability that offspring of Pooja and Ravi will have green eyes. So we just need to find the crossing between Ravi and Pooja, and we need to show the inheritance of eye color in the offspring with a suitable cross. Right. So let's see. So what is it? Okay. Let's make the cross like this. The parental trait would be In the case of male, which is Ravi, it can be capital B, small b, and mom, which is Pooja, that is small b, small b. So the gamete would be capital B, small b against small b. Right. So if you are trying to find the F1 generation or the offspring, you can easily find it using a Punnett square too. If you are using a Punnett square, it would be like this. So male, female. Male has capital B, small b, and in the case of female, it is small b, small b. Both the gametes are same only since it is homozygous recessive condition. So the babies can be capital B, small b, small b, capital B, small b, or small b, small b. So as you can see here, the chance of having a black-eyed baby and a green-eyed baby is 50-50. That is, see, 1, 2. 2 out of 4 offspring has the probability of becoming black-eyed, and green-eyed is also equal. So let's see, what was the question about? We need to find the probability that offspring of Pooja and Ravi will have green eyes. So we need to find the probability of having green eyes, right? So the probability of having green eyes, we can write it down like this. Probability of green eyes is equal to 2 by 4 into 100, right? There are two chances the baby is of green eyed color. So that will be by 2. So which is 50%, right? It's 50%. So there is 50% chance that the baby from Pooja and Ravi can be of green eye color. And that's the 3 questions, and you will get easy 4 marks from those 3 questions. And there is an O question for the C part. The O question is 50% of the offspring of Pooja's brother are green-eyed. With the help of a cross, show how is this possible. So it said that we already know that Pooja's brother, where is it? Pooja's brother is either capital B small b or capital B black-eyed. Now the question is 50% of Pooja's brother are green-eyed. So Pooja's brothers' offsprings are 50% green-eyed. So with the help of a cross, show how is this possible. If Pooja's brother's babies should get green eye, which is 50%, then definitely Pooja's brother should be having at least one small b, right? Only then he can have a probability of having 50% offspring if his wife is also of green eye color, right? It would be like this. If this is Pooja's brother's genotype, which is black eye, and then the wife is of small b, then the cross would be easy, right? It would be capital B, small b into small b. So that would be like capital B, small b, or small b, small b. So there is 1:1. That is 50% chance that there would be green eye color. The green would be of 50% chance, and black would also be of 50% chance. So the only way by which Pooja's brother can have 50% offspring which are green eye colored is by being heterozygous dominant and while having a wife who is green eye colored, that is recessive condition. So that's it. So when you're looking into the marking scheme of this question, it goes something like this. See, the first question, if you write yes, green eye color is recessive and it will express only in homozygous condition, you will get half mark, and that would be your 1 mark. Then in the second question, which is Pooja's brother's genotype, if you write capital B, capital B, small b, then you will get 1 mark. If you write just one of that, no, you will get half of the mark. That's it. Then the third question, what is happening? What is the inheritance of Ravi and Pooja's offspring? So it will small b against capital B, small b, and you have to show the inheritance pattern using a Punnett square, for which you will get 0.5 mark for that one answer, and for the cross you will get 0.5 marks. So yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Then for the O question, sorry. So for the O question, see, the brother is, one second. Okay. So for the O question, brother is heterozygous, capital B, small b, wife is green, and their cross, the inheritance should be short like this, for which you will get 1 mark. So that's how that 4 mark is distributed. I think you have got an idea about how it is. Okay. So now we'll skip to the first part, which is your MCQ part, that is section A. And I think you already know your section A will be carrying almost 5 to 6 questions. There will be 2 assertions from biology part, and yeah, you will get 1 mark for each. Let's go through it very quickly. In the given transverse section of the leaf, identify the layer of cells where maximum photosynthesis occurs. So this is a leaf where maximum photosynthesis can occur. So this is the upper epidermis, this is the lower area, you can see the stomatal opening and all, and this in between region, which is the palisade tissue, spongy tissue, which is the mesophyll, right? This is the mesophyll region. It's exactly where a high content of chlorophyll would also be present. So inside these 2 and 3 portions of cells, we can see a lot of chloroplasts where the maximum photosynthesis would be taking place. So 2 and 3, option B will be the answer for that. And then observe the experimental setup shown below. Name the chemical indicated as X that can absorb the gas which is evolved as byproduct of respiration. So the byproduct of respiration would be taking in oxygen and giving out CO2. So the byproduct is going to be CO2, and a chemical which can absorb that CO2 is definitely going to be KOH. So here the X is KOH. If a tall pea plant is uh, if a tall pea plant is crossed with a pure dwarf pea plant, what percent of F1 and F2 generation respectively will be tall? So we just need to make a normal monohybrid cross, which we already know, right? In the case of monohybrid cross, the F1 generation will definitely be 100%, 100% tall, and the F2 generation will be 75% tall. That is 3 out of the 4 would be tall, which is something we have already by hearted. We don't even have to do the cross to get that 1 mark. So it is F1 and F2 generation respectively. F1 will be 100% and F2 will be 72% tall. This is another question from your control and coordination. Observe 3 figures given below. Which of the following depicts tropic movements appropriately? It's a repeated, frequently seen question, and I think you already know the answer. This is option C, right? It is C only. Why? Because the stem is showing positive phototropism. Positive phototropism. And the roots are showing positive geotropism. So that's how the stem and root would act all the time. So no matter how you place the pot, that's how it should be. It should be positive phototropism and positive geotropism by stem and root respectively. And then the diagram shown below depicts pollination. Choose the option that will show maximum variation of offspring. Maximum variation. Maximum variation would be possible in sexual or asexual reproduction. Maximum variation would be possible in sexual reproduction, right? So here they have shown this, see, A, which is self-pollination from the same flower to that same flower. B, they have shown cross-pollination. C, self-pollination. D, cross-pollination. So definitely when a gamete is being transferred from one plant to the other, there will be maximum variation because they are completely different genetic, right? So here it is B and D. So the option would be option B, B and D. Now this is an assertion and reason type of question, which is very simple. Height in pea plant, height in pea plant is controlled by the efficiency of enzyme and is thus genetically controlled. Yes, that assertion is true. Cellular DNA is the information source for making proteins in the cell. Isn't that the explanation? So for in the first statement, they are talking about how genes are controlling the height through the enzymatic productions. And in the second reason, they are saying how DNA is the part which is carrying all the information for protein, and all the enzymes are proteins, right? So this is exactly assertion and reason are true, and the reason is explaining the assertion. So it is option A. Then amphibians can tolerate mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. Is that true? Yes, amphibians can do that. And amphibians are animals with two-chambered heart. I think it's evidently clear. See, amphibians have three-chambered heart, right? Fish are the group of animals which are having two-chambered heart. So the statement is true and the reason given is false. So that's definitely A is true, R is false. C, right? Okay, section B. This is 2-mark question. How is the mode of action in beating of the heart different from reflex action? Give for examples. You basically have to identify what beating of heart and reflex action is. So beating of heart is something, um, beating of heart. Is it something that you can voluntary control? No, it is something that is involuntary control. So this is an involuntary action which is controlled by our cardiac muscles, right? While reflex action is also an involuntary action, but it is a sudden involuntary action, right? It is a sudden involuntary action. It is a sudden involuntary action. And here, for the beating of heart, you don't need any particular stimulus to hit so quick so that your heart might beat. But here in reflex action, we need some particular stimuli to hit the receptors so that the reflection will be produced quickly. And beating of heart is basically controlled by your brain, while reflex actions are being controlled mainly by your spinal cord, of which the data would be given to the brain simultaneously. And there are several differences like that. So if you classify it properly, you'll get almost 2 marks. So you're expected to write at least you're expected to write at least Okay. At least 4 points should be there, which would carry half mark each. This is how the mark distribution goes. So even if you know the entire story, if you haven't written that 4 points for both, then you are not getting that 4 marks. So see, beating of heart, it is involuntary action and the action is not controlled by our will, while reflex action is sudden action in response to something. Beating a heart, they do not need any kind of stimulus to work. It happens all the time. And here reflex action, it requires a stimulus. And beating of heart, it is regulated by brain, while this is regulated by spinal cord. Beating of heart, it doesn't involve any skeletal muscle. It is a cardiac muscle which is taking part there. But here skeletal muscles are involved in the reflex action, right? And beating of heart, it happens throughout your life, while reflex action happens only as a response to an emergency situation. And heart beating, this action may be quick or slow depending upon the amount of hormone in your body, depending upon the situation, the speed, the what do you call, the rhythm of heartbeat can change. While reflex action, they're always quick, they have to be, they're sudden response, right? So that's how it is. This is the second question in the B part. Patients whose gallbladder are removed are recommended to eat less oily food. And you just have to explain why. I think you already know what gallbladder is. So see, this is gallbladder, which is a small portion. It's a very small, teeny tiny organ right beside your stomach, right? So it's the storage place of whatever is produced from the liver. So the bile juice which is produced from the liver will be stored in this small organ called the gallbladder, right? And gallbladder uses this bile for emulsifying the fats in your body. So if you don't have enough bile juice in your gallbladder, If you eat too much fatty food, it won't be getting digested because emulsification is not happening there. So a patient who doesn't have a proper gallbladder functioning is definitely asked to take the fat content out of their diet, which is a very logical explanation, right? So gallbladder stores bile, which helps in the emulsification of lipids. So if you say that point exactly right like that, you will get 1 point, like 1 mark there. In the absence of stored bile, emulsification of fats would be negligible or it will be affected. Thus, the fat digestion will be slow. Hence, there are such diet restrictions. So, if you simply mention the fact, those 2 points, you will get 2 marks from that question. How easy, right? And this is another question. Name the substances other than water that are reabsorbed during urine formation and write two parameters. What are the two parameters that decide the amount of water that is reabsorbed in kidney? Okay, so let's see. It's a direct question. So other than urine, the glucose, amino acids, salts, these all are being filtered during the urine formation, right? So you can write any of these 2 points and you will get 1 mark for that. So any 2 point, 1 mark. And the next question is, what factors affect the urine filtration? So the amount of water reabsorbed depends on how much excess water is there in your body, half mark. How much excess water is there in your body, you get half mark. And how much dissolved waste is there to be excreted. So how much excess water is there and how much waste is there to be excreted, both those will be equally having half mark, for which you will get 1 mark. So that's how the weight, the mark distribution is in that question. And this is another 2 mark question, which is from the environment chapter, right? A lot of waste is generated in neighborhood. However, almost all of it is biodegradable. What impact will it have on the environment or human health? So you basically have to know what biodegradable waste is. Biodegradable and non-biodegradable. I think we all have an idea about it. Biodegradable waste is those waste which can be easily degraded by the microbes or the decomposers in the environment, right? There would be some kitchen waste, it could be some fruits, some vegetables, maybe some animal excreta, etc. While non biodegradable are the ones which will stay in the soil as long as you keep it there. Like once you throw it out, it's there. It could be the plastic, glasses, the electronic waste, etc. So we just have to talk about the impact of those waste. So any point out of this, you will get 2 marks. See, excess generation can be harmful of this biodegradable waste, can be harmful because it is a slow process. Biodegradable waste like the vegetables, fruits, animal waste, this all would take a lot of time to process, right? So it can create, since it is a slow process, it will take a lot of time to get decomposed, which can cause foul smells, gases emitting out of that substances, which could be a source of pollution. That's 1 mark. And then it could be the breeding ground for many germs. It can create certain unhygienic conditions. Yes. Yeah. Hi, hi. Hi, everyone. Hey, yeah. Why are you simply saying hi? You don't have any answers? Just give me some answers in the comments, people. Okay. So that's about it. So that's how the biodegradable waste question mark distribution goes. And this is the C part, which will be carrying 3 marks. And first question is, the leaf of a plant were covered with aluminium foil. How would it affect the physiology of the plant? I think it's a direct question. If a leaf of a plant is covered up with something dark and not able to get any light or oxygen, what can happen? Anything can be answered in that question, right? If you know a normal physiology thing of plant, you can answer that question in any way. Anyways, if you get at least 3 points, 1 mark each for each point, so you have to write at least 3 points. It's a 3 mark question. So no photosynthesis will occur, and no glucose will be forming there, like no light entry, no photosynthesis, and no respiration will take place, and no oxygen will be taken in. So exchange of gases won't happen because the stomatal pores are closed. and the chlorophyll cannot accept the light because everything is closed up, it's dark. No transpiration will occur, so there won't be any upward movement of water and minerals. So transpirational pull won't happen. Why? If everything is closed, transpiration is not happening, sunlight is not falling on the leaf, so no water absorption. Then temperature regulation of the leaf surface will be affected. How is that happen? If the leaf is not exposed to the sunlight, then there won't be any evaporation happening. There won't be any balancing of the temperature of the inside and outside world of the plant. It all happened in that leaf surface. It is where everything, the transpirational pull, the temperature regulation, photosynthesis, everything is taking place. So if you're able to mention any 3 points which are valid, you will get 3 marks. Not any 3 points, exactly these 3 points. They haven't given any points session. So yeah, you have to answer those three exact points. Okay. Ha, ha, ha. Okay, and then how is lymph an important fluid involved in transportation? If lymphatic vessels get blocked, how would it affect the human body? Elaborate. So for 3 marks, you have to write about lymph. That's it. So as everyone know, lymph is that tissue fluid, right? So lymph is the one which is carrying the digested absorbed fat from your intestine. So it drains excess fluid from the extracellular. So lymphatic fluid, that lymph itself, it has excess fluid which is coming from the extracellular space. It's coming from the extracellular space, and it will give that fluid back into the blood. That's the one major purpose of lymph, taking out the extra fluid from the outside cell space and give it back to the blood. One purpose. Then if that lymph is blocked, the blockage of lymphatic system will lead to water retention, poor fat absorption, etc. So first you have to explain what lymph is for, then explain what will happen if it is not working properly. So basic 2 points, one is fat thing, the other is the water, drainage of excess water. So that's it. If you are writing any one of these points, that would be enough. Okay. So yeah, that's how it goes. Then another C part question, another 3 mark question is, okay, 1 second. Yeah. Mm, mm, mm. Why is damage to the ozone layer a cause for concern? What are its causes? What are the steps taken to limit its damage? It's a very what do you call it? You can call it a cliche question. You can expect that ozone and ozone related chlorofluorocarbon emission, the UV, the stratosphere thing. You can expect that question. It's a very cliche question, right? So you basically have to explain how the UV layer or that ozone layer is formed. So why is that ozone layer's destruction a cause of concern? So I think we already know, if the ozone layer, which is protecting the earth, which is made up of oxygen molecule and one oxygen atom, it creates O3, right? So in the stratospheric layer of the earth, this oxygen molecule would split up into oxygen atoms. It will happen during the in the presence of UV rays, which happens only in the stratospheric layer, right? It happens in the stratospheric layer. And sorry, okay, it happens in the stratospheric layer, and one of this oxygen atom will combine with another oxygen molecule to form an O3. So this is how one ozone molecule, O3 is ozone, one ozone molecule is formed. Such several O3s together, what do you call, they just go hand in hand and create the ozone layer around the Earth's atmosphere, which is right above the stratospheric layer, right? We have a layer in the stratosphere of Earth where this ozone layer can be seen. And this protection of this ozone layer, suppose this is the Earth, this ozone layer would create a protection from all the unwanted UVs coming in. All the unwanted UVs coming in will be we will be protected from all those unwanted ultraviolet radiation. And if this ultraviolet radiation hits us, we can get skin cancer. It can lead to the destruction of chlorophyll in plants, which can lead to the absence of photosynthesis, and it can definitely kill almost all the living organisms on the earth. So ozone layer getting weakened is, that's why it is an issue, it's a cause of concern. So it can cause skin cancer in human beings, it can cause issues in animals, it can cause this rashes, skin allergies, eye irritations, anything. You can expect anything due to this UV radiations. So the major cause of this is the synthetic chemicals like the CFC, which is chlorofluorocarbon. Chlorofluorocarbon. So these chlorofluorocarbons are used normally as refrigerants, or in the fire extinguishers and all. We normally use this chemical. It is a what do you call? It is an ingredient in that kind of fire extinguishers and all. Normally the refrigerators effluent has a lot of CFC content in it. So the major reason for depletion of this O3 layer around the earth is such synthetic chemicals. So by controlling such chemicals, we can easily protect the ozone layer and protect our life. And the steps taken is, so the UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program, has asked to freeze the use of the CFCs, all the unwanted synthetic items like the nitric oxides and all, which can ultimately damage the O3 layer. So limitage of, or limiting such synthetic chemical which can damage the ozone layer is the method of controlling ozone depletion. Okay, so if you write all these 3 points, like why is ozone layer depletion a concern, and how these, what all chemicals are in there as an issue, and what all steps are taken against it. If you mention all these 3 points, 1 into 3, you will get 3 marks. Okay, now the second last session, and for us the last session, because we have already discussed the E session, right? So in the section D, you will get a 5-mark question. So this is how the question is arranged. Yeah. Why is it not possible to reconstruct the whole organism from a fragment in complex multicellular organism? Why is it not possible to reconstruct whole organism from a fragment in complex multicellular organism? So we know that in small organism like this, maybe the unicellular organisms and all, it is possible to reconstruct the entire organism. Suppose an organism like planaria, we have already learned about it, right? It's a small worm. Even if we cut it into small pieces, it can generate an entire planaria from those pieces. That regeneration is possible. Take the case of what let's take the case of hydra. So everywhere that regeneration, even hydra, if the hydra loses one of its tentacles, it can regrow, it can regenerate that one particular part. But in the multicellular complex organisms like us, the animals or the plants, especially the higher plants, maybe the higher multicellular complex organisms, maybe the vertebrates and all, it is not possible. This regenerating the entire body, even if you cut a human being's body into 2 parts and to regenerate it, it's not possible. Why is it not possible? That's the question. So it's basically, we can explain that question in multiple ways, but the single logic they are asking there is, if it's a unicellular small organism, the entire body, suppose it's an amoeba, or a planaria, the entire small body is made up of small set of cells. So regenerating each simple cell is easy, but going to an organism like human being or a dog or a cat, we have multiple cells, multiple tissue, multiple organs, multiple organ systems in our body. To recreate each and every organ system, it is impossible. But in the small worms and creatures, it is possible because their cellular level is very low, but our level is high. Our structural organization is almost high to the organ system level. So that's why that regeneration is not possible. So the multicellular organisms are not simply random collection of cells, but specialized cells are organized as tissue. Tissues are organized into organs, and we have definite position for these organs. We have organ system, and that's why this cell by cell division would be like impractical. It is not possible to have each and every cell in your organ system to divide like that. and regenerate. So that's the reason for it. And if you write that, you will get 2 marks. For that part, you will get 2 marks. Then, sexual maturation of reproductive tissue and organ are necessary link for reproduction. Elucidate. So the question looks very confusing, but all you have to talk about here is sexual maturation of reproductive tissue and organ. That is, when you're a child, you're not able to produce the gametes, right? But by the time you reach your puberty, your hormones would develop, your entire body ratio would be developed, and your body ratio growth will slow down, and the reproductive organs start maturing up, and that's when the gametes would start forming. That's when you can say you are sexually mature. So you basically have to talk about the puberty and how the primary and secondary sexual characters are developing. That's what they're asking in the question. If you write that, you will get 3 marks. And the same section has subdivision 2. Let's see. So sexual maturation of reproductive tissue, it is necessary because we need specialized cells called germ cells. So you have to talk about gametes, how male and female gametes are important in sexual maturation. Then the body of individual organism has to grow. Our body physical appearance should grow to an adult size. Then the general body growth begins to slow down and reproductive tissue begins to mature. When the general body stops growing, or you can say when it has attained a particular size, the reproductive tissue starts its growth. So that is, if you are able to mention those two factors, the puberty factors and all, you will get you will get 1.5 mark for that particular portion. And the remaining portion, you can explain how the primary and secondary character, especially the secondary sexual characters, like if it's in the case of boy, how your mustache, your hair development in the face, your muscular body development, the whole, the manly body ratio, you can explain all those stuff. In the case of girls, going to their sweet voice, their pigmentation, maybe their body ratio, this all can be explained in the secondary sexual characteristic. So altogether they have divided it into 1.5 marks. So at least three to 4 points should be mentioned in that entire para. So that's how the question is divided. And then it's an or question. You can write either this or this. So the or question is, how are variations useful for species if there is a drastic alteration in niches? So if the niche is changing, how the variation would help the organism to survive? That's what basically it is. So suppose you have a positive variation in your body which will help you to survive an apocalypse. Suppose you have a variation in your body which will help you to survive a very dry climate. So even if your niche change from this very normal rainy season to a very dry climate, your body will be able to survive that particular change in niche, right? So a positive variation always helps an organism to survive in any kind of new niches or new environment. So that's what we have to explain in that particular part. See, I'll show you how the mark is distributed here. So if the niche is drastically altered, the population could be wiped out. So entire change in niche, the food habits, the resources, if it's all changing in one night, we all can die, right? But if variations are present, which should be positive, it will help the organism to survive. So you can say that variation, positive variation, help an organism's evolution and its survival, the ability to adapt to a new niche. That's what you have to explain in that part. So if you explain that part, see, you will get 2 marks. And then the second part, or the B part of the question, explain how uterus and placenta provide necessary condition for proper growth and development of the embryo after implantation. So you basically have to explain the structure of uterus. So the uterus thickens and is richly supplied with a lot of blood capillaries for the growing embryo. You will get half mark for that. The embryo gets the nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of placenta. What is placenta? It's a temporary organ which is developed during the pregnancy, right? So, and that placenta will be embedded to the uterine wall. So if you mentioned a fact about placenta, you will get the second half mark. So 1 mark there. And now you have to explain the function of this placenta. And the placenta has villi, and the villi will be increasing the blood spaces. So it will help the transmission of oxygen, nutrients, waste material, etc. between the mother and the embryo. So that's another point, another half mark there. Then just talk about what all transmissions are happening between the placenta. That's it. See, glucose, oxygen, the developing embryos, waste, these all is being transferred from the mother to the baby and baby to the mother. So if you explain the uterus structure, placenta structure, function of uterus and function of placenta, you will get entire 1.5 mark for that. So that's how you can score for that particular part of question, which is a 5 mark question. So a 2 mark in the A part and the remaining 3 mark is distributed equally for the B part. So that's how the section D is explained. So I hope you got an idea about this 2023 question paper, and that's pretty much about it. All the sections are already discussed. Section E is what we have already discussed in the beginning of the class. So that's pretty much about it. If you have any issues, any queries, let me know in the comment. I'll be coming back in the next class with your yes, hi Chion, hi. So we'll be coming back in the next class. I hope this was a useful session, and please stay tuned for the upcoming SQPs and PYQs. Especially, it will help you in your boards. So thank you so much for your time. Let me wind up. You all have a good night. Take care. Bye bye. This is Alka Rajimon from Gosco. Good night.